breaking news. The power ratings just dropped. And your Emmaus University Eagles for volleyball. And welcome back to another episode of In the Nest, the official athletics podcast of Emmaus University. I'm your co-host, Matthew Tomlinson, joined today by our co-host for the day, Coach Hannah Richter. Hi, Coach. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Doing good. Well, Shane is on the road traveling for enrollment and athletics. He's down in Tennessee at the National Christian Homeschool Soccer Championship Tournament for this week. And so we have the privilege of Coach Hannah joining us today.
Yeah. And you just got back from being on the road.
Literally just got back from Minnesota for 3 days.
Yeah.
So it's been a very traveling week. But let's jump right into it.
Absolutely.
What a volleyball season we've had this year, Coach Hannah. We just had senior day on Saturday, and
don't make me think about it.
I know it's a little bit emotional, but
a lot emotional. Man,
just tell us so far, like, what a great season we've had so far.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really sure how to put it into words, honestly. Thinking 2 years ago, being 0-16 and flipping back
16 wins this year.
So
it's poetic.
It's been really fun. It's a huge blessing. I wasn't sure where we were going to be at in year 3, but this has surpassed my expectations by far. I love the group of girls that I got. Our coaching staff is amazing. We're having a ton of fun, even though we've had some hard moments. Definitely emotionally and physically, a lot of sickness, a lot of things at home that the girls have been dealing with. But, we're a tight-knit group, and we focus on Christ, and we're doing great.
You're doing great. Yeah, and it's especially cool seeing how, like, especially with the way the first weekend went and how that just kind of, sometimes that might set the wave of how the season goes for the team, but the girls responded, at least from my outsider perspective, they responded very well. Yeah. And, since that day, I've gone 16-2, which is pretty amazing of them to respond that way, especially with a young team, because our team is very young. Right. But like you said, the third season in the program and just the 3 C's that you build on and how, we started season 1 with Christ at the center. It's the center of everything we do, but that was the main focus of that season. Last season, the committed side of it was the big emphasis, along with Christ, obviously. Right. And this year, the focus has been on, for the most part, have been on competitive. And wow, it's really cool how you build that foundation and how the Lord really uses that to bless this team.
Yeah. And, it's like in the essence of being competitive, I think off the top, you're sitting going like, okay, well, competitive is just wins, losses. And we've really tried to stick away from that a little bit and just talk about like, what does it mean to be competitive and like be a competitor? Like inherently, how do we carry ourselves? How do we keep ourselves accountable? How do we keep our teammates accountable and things like that? How do we respect the other team when we're competing? Because at the end of the day, like it's black and white. Someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. Right. And so how can we do that while still focusing on Christ, still focusing on being committed to Him and our program values while we compete and just try and grow physically with the program. So it's been a fun year. It's been really fun. It's nice not to lose every single game. That's for sure. But just trying to not think about that too much, not get big headed. And we've talked a lot about that too. Like we're just really thankful, because they've persevered a lot. We've had a lot of fight. And the first probably month was really, really tough, which you guys mentioned on the podcast too. And I did that, for a reason. And thankfully we're on the good side of that. Yep. So And
it's cool. Yeah. Cause coming into this week, girls are ranked 8th. The the coaches poll came out on Monday, ranked 8th, or Tuesday, ranked 8th again. The power ratings had not come out before we recorded the episode, so they should be out now when the episode drops, but excited to see how that lines up for the regional tournament. But looking back at Saturday against Ozark, Ozark, very gritty team, took a set off Manhattan, forced a 5-game set to Faith, and they took that first set, because they're a tough team. They really fought it out. A lot of out-of-system stuff, it seemed like, that first set, but then the girls pulled it together and won on senior night to, as we talked about, 9-0 at home this season, which we've never been undefeated at home this season. Yeah. They literally took PTN to heart this season. Yeah. It was crazy. But and then senior night, we got to honor our 2 seniors, kind of the heart of our program, Emma Stanley and then Lauren Fessler. And so, man, they've had such a huge impact on this program. It's been incredible to see these last 3 and 4 years for them. Yeah, they've been through the gauntlet for sure. So really thankful for them and their leadership. We wouldn't be where we are without those 2.
And yeah, I basically tell all the girls, I know you guys have got to leave at some point. As long as you come back and bring me your babies, everything's fine. I can get over you guys leaving, but yeah, I mean, they just have such a great impact on everybody around them. So we'll miss them.
We will.
We'll miss them a lot. Yeah.
But yeah, just like you said, it's just kind of surreal, just like how they came in. In a sense, you could say they took a chance.
Yeah,
on our
absolutely
team.
they did.
And after that first year, so Emma's second year, Lauren's first year with that 0-16, but then just seeing all the hard work that they put in and just seeing how the Lord has blessed this team and how we've reaped the benefits of putting that hard work to be 16-4, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's very humbling as a coach to know that you have just players like that are willing to trust you. And it's not just them, it's their families and their friends, because they're committing their time away from other things. Not only that they just want to do, but that they need to do. And so, yeah, they've really had my back, honestly, every step of the way. And I know they'll keep supporting us. So don't make me talk about them for very much longer, because it just makes me cry.
We'll get you a Kleenex to shed those.
I have one from helping Ruby blow her nose. Everybody has sick kids right now. So
seriously, everyone does. We do too. But yeah, looking ahead to this upcoming weekend for volleyball, I mean, the big game. The big game Friday night.
I'm really excited.
This is going to determine the regular season conference champion. This is a banner game.
Yeah.
A banner game also for soccer on Saturday, most likely, but especially for volleyball, being in this position, we might host our first MCCC banner with the new logo on it in the gym, which would be amazing.
Be awesome.
What's the mindset going into this weekend?
Honestly, the mindset, I think the past few years when we've gone to play Manhattan, they're an amazing program and I have a ton of respect for them, is just hoping that we play well and hoping that we can refine the things that we need to get better at. But, the past couple of days when we've been chatting about it in practice, like just trying to give them the mindset, like, we don't need to be afraid to go compete with them anymore. Like, I think that it is going to be a really great match. I think that each teams have things that we're stronger in than each other, which is the case normally anyway.
Right.
But yeah, as long as we can get our hands up above the net when we're blocking and eliminate our errors, I think it's going to be a really great match. And it's always fun to compete with better teams too. They have had an amazing season. They started number 1 in the coaches polls, the first 2 polls that came out, and they've dropped a little bit, but I mean, they have just a really solid roster, really solid coaching staff.
They've had a tough schedule too.
Yeah. So they're great. I think it's going to be a little change of pace for us. I'm really thankful we had Calvary and Faith at home last week. I think that's helped prepare us a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the goal is to play well and get better, but winning would be sweet. Cool. Yeah.
But yeah, keep an eye out, because Friday night, the 2 undefeated teams in the conference clash for the MCCC regular season banner. So it'll be a great, awesome, fun game.
Yeah.
And it'll be fun to have all the parent support that will drive down there for the game, because I know they're pretty excited too.
They'll be there. Yeah.
But yeah, turning over to soccer, recapping soccer.
Yes.
Last coaches poll, we were ranked 5th. This last coaches poll, it came out on Tuesday. We dropped out of it because we went 1-3, unfortunately, since.
Yeah, that was tough.
And that was, tough stretch, which we talked about last episode. But on Saturday for senior night for the guys, also played Ozark, had beaten them 2-0 early in the season. That's the game that counted for the conference standings. So this game didn't technically count, but a great game. The guys won 4-1.
Yep.
Matt Trick 2.0 happened. Josh had 2 goals. Louis had a goal. Jake had a goal. So that was fun to see.
It was so fun.
That especially on Josh's senior night, because we were honoring Josh and Eli, Anthony, and Carlos. And so, which is also like for them too, like those 4 guys have really been super, especially Josh and Carlos have been super instrumental in the program. You could also say that they both took a chance on the program, and
they did.
It's some really cool seeing just the success this season with, they're right now they're 9-5-1. And so going into regionals, a conference this week, being in the top 4 to compete for a conference championship. And then also looking ahead, because they play Manhattan on Friday.
Yep.
And then Barkley
at 4 p.m.
4 p.m. And then we go down to Ankeny for a neutral site game against Barkley.
Yep.
And if we take care of business against Manhattan on Friday, the Saturday game against Barkley will then be the 2 undefeated teams also in conference will be playing each other for the championship banner in the regular season. So huge weekend for the fall sports for Emmaus. And so we're super excited, but anything can happen. So
anything can happen. And I mean, it's just fun having like the group of fall teams, including cross country as well. Everybody's doing really well right now. And It's just a great time to be at Emmaus. I think, we've got a lot of changes going on here.
Right.
But, I think knowing that, the people that we have on our athletics teams right now, like they're committed to the mission and the vision. They want to be here. And especially like thinking about the class of seniors that we have, they came in at a tough time.
Very tough time.
This is our first group that's going to be graduating. They entered right after COVID.
Yeah.
And I think that year socially was really difficult. But everybody has just been like slow climbing these past few years. And so it's fun to see that, as my loving husband would say,
shout out Coach Reggie,
as we stick to being the tortoise.
Yep. It's a marathon. It's a marathon. It's a marathon.
A lot of times it'll pay off. And even if it doesn't, it's okay. But it's a lot of fun to be here right now. And I think that everybody supports each other really well too.
Oh yeah. And especially seeing that, like looking at cross country, we got to host the super regional race, which was really exciting, but
very fun.
Every single team was there. Our entire men's basketball team was there helping with the race. Yep. The entire soccer team was there. Your entire volleyball team was there. I think most of the women's basketball team was there.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the student body was there because how often do we get to host a cross country meet? But it was really cool because this is the first race for them that they competed against runners at our level, within our conference, within our region, within the NCAA. And boy, did they show out.
Yeah, they did amazing.
Especially looking at the guys, Benjamin Driscoll finished third individually, which was amazing to see.
That was awesome to watch him finish.
It
that
was
race.
like he was neck and neck with the guy from Maranatha, and he just pulled it out right at the end. I think he won by like 0.7 seconds or something like that.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool. And then Matthew Hanselman, he finished 10th. And so our guys were right there. They ended up finishing second time or placement wise, because that's the one thing I always forget is for regionals and for nationals, it's not about time.
Right.
It's about where you place.
Right.
And so, because like last year, the team that finished second actually had the fourth fastest time, but they placed differently. And so we ended up placing second, which was really cool behind Crown. But the guys had a good race. Daniel PR'd, everyone else ran pretty close to their normal time, which was cool. And so it's really encouraging looking into nationals. I was talking with Coach Girardi, and he was saying like the difference between our number 1 runner and our number 5 runner was about 4 minutes, which I think there were, for the guys team, there were 10 schools that were here and only 4 of them had enough runners to count as a team.
Sure.
And so looking ahead at nationals with that, short distance time between the 5 of them, they should place higher.
Yeah.
And this will give us a really good shot at
high hopes.
Going at Bob Jones, which is really cool. And then the women, they ended up finishing third time wise. A little bit of a stressful week.
They had a tough
week. We had a crazy week. One of our runners, Annalise Sweeney, actually got hit by a car.
And it's one of those things, when I heard that story, I was like, why are you making this up?
Right.
This is not the time.
Like, this is not funny. And you're like, wait a minute. No, she was running. They were running at a roundabout, and this car peeled through the roundabout as she was stepping into the intersection. And the tire kind of hit her shin, ran over her foot, fractured her foot. And she was not, this was Thursday before the race. She was not able to race. And then the car drove off.
Just like a genuine hit and run. But like you hit a person.
Yeah, you hit a young lady.
We should have stopped.
And the hard part was like Annalise was like in the middle pack of our runners. So like they really missed her.
Yeah.
But she's in really good spirits for what happened. It's really unfortunate. I know they're working with the police and the authorities to try to find this person that hit and run. But
and it's one of those things you don't want to laugh at, but it's just so ridiculous.
It is. It really is.
You can't even hardly believe that it happened.
And then the team had to like go run in the regional race after this. And it's like, what in the world?
I mean, with that being said, it seemed like they were in good spirits.
Yeah, they were in good spirits.
And they competed really well too.
They did. Yeah. And, Anna finished top 10, which was really cool to see. Kate finished 18th. No one did end up PRing, but again, they had a pretty good spread between the 5 top runners. And then we're able to finish third, which they were really close to the second place finish. So looking ahead to nationals, which is in, I think, 3 weeks, both teams should compete and will compete very well. And it's really exciting just hearing like from talking to Coach Girardi about just their input and like their excitement. They're looking ahead to that. It's gonna be fun this year for, like you said, all fall sports have been killing it, and it's been super encouraging and really awesome to see. We praise the Lord through the good times, we praise him through the bad times, but we are definitely thankful for these times right here.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's just being sure that, us as Emmaus University. It still feels kind of weird to say as Emmaus University, but as the individual athletics teams and as athletic staff, like just being sure that everybody's on the same page, because there's so much hype. And I think a lot of times to the athletes, it comes across as pressure. Well, now I have to perform. People are expecting things. And I think it's good that people expect things of you,
Yes.
But just remembering like our identity is not in the athletic accomplishments, our identity is in Christ.
Yes.
And either way, no matter what happens in the next month, everybody's had an amazing year.
Yes.
So yeah, we're
to
starting the year off really strong.
But we've had fantastic years so far, and that's what matters.
We'll be okay.
We will be.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, breaking news, the power ratings just dropped, and your Emmaus University Eagles for volleyball, number 7, number 1 team in the region. So got that number 1 seed. Congratulations, Coach Hannah.
Thank you.
Going into regionals.
I think we are. I know they're going to take into account the power rating for next week too, but I'm not thinking it's going to change.
I don't think so. No, we're 7th, and the closest behind us is Grace, and they're 14th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Us at 7, Bob Jones at 6, us at 7, Faith at 8.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's awesome.
So Manhattan's 3rd. So that's definitely going to really amp the game going into Friday. So that's super exciting to see.
Yay, that's great news.
That is awesome news. Shout out power ratings that dropped. Shout out Coach Megan who just texted and said, "Hey, check the power ratings. They just came out."
we knew it was going to come out mid podcast.
Yes, we did because I think it happened the same time last year. But yeah, fun weeks upcoming. The last of the regular season and then postseason play. Here we come. What a fun year. We get a host conference this year, which I'm sure we'll talk about next episode, but being able to have the conference tournament at home is just really fun because we get to show off what we have to offer with our facilities, and then the girls get to not have to travel and get to play at home and defend the home court. Yeah,
it'll be a fun way to feel like, it's not the official wrap up to the season, but it kind of is. And, just knowing that we get to experience playing at home one more time, with our student body behind us and our parents get to come back home. So yeah, it'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to it. I have not been on staff since we've hosted a conference tournament.
It's been a while.
I think the last one was 2017, which is the year before I came.
I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, this is going to be a good experience for me. I like entertaining people. So I like having everybody come here, and I agree, like showing off the facilities and kind of what we have going. Looking like we're hopefully going to have the new training room with a soft opening. So that'll be really fun.
The Iverson family training room. Let's go.
So yeah, a lot to look forward to.
And the best part, the most important part, is the hospitality room for the coaching staff.
Yeah, I've been having some good talks with the staff.
Oh, good.
We're gonna hook up the hospitality space. Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, that's when you can tell when a team really puts effort into hosting a tournament is what the hospitality room is like.
Let's impress.
Right?
Let's impress.
You get to drive all the way to Dubuque and experience that.
Beautiful Dubuque.
That was also one cool thing I was talking to Coach Girardi about was he was saying that most of the other teams were super impressed with the soccer complex and how there are talks about maybe we host the super regional from now on.
Yeah, it's a great course.
Which would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it seemed really accessible for everybody to like watch around most of the course too.
And like you could walk around it, you can because it's around all the 7, 8, 9, 10 different soccer fields. There's that trail course, which is the fun part of it, and so that'd be pretty cool because we don't often get home meet, and so to have this would be really cool. Yeah,
I loved being able to support cross country because they're so kind to everybody else.
They are,
and it kind of makes you feel bad. Like it's not as easy to go see them. So yeah, we were really thankful.
We are, and it's been great for them, and also like looking ahead a little bit. Basketball started for both us and for the women, and so a lot of exciting things ahead. We have our first scrimmage on Saturday, and then we have one on Monday, so we get to see some live action against not just internally against ourselves, and so that's looking. We'll see how the season goes.
But how are you feeling about it?
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah,
I think Philip actually cracked a smile the other night at practice.
Way.
I know,
crazy.
I was like, what? I know, right? And so we practiced a little bit after the podcast or we finished recording. So I'm really excited. We'll see.
It's a really nice group of guys.
It is. It's a great group. The Lord really blessed us with our recruiting, and there's some very talented guys, but
absolutely,
it's just a group that's hungry just to learn about the Lord, to be around each other. Like this group is so tight. Like I've not seen a group this tight in my 10 years being a part of the team, and so that's been super encouraging. Obviously. We'll see what happens when January and February rolls around in the dog months of the season, but it's a great group, and the guys just love each other. It's always like when we talk about the counseling program here. The two things are love people, love God. And this group have really embraced both of those, which has been really encouraging to see.
I think that's really clear because they do love each other really, really well. But I think they just connect with the student body really well. You know, they play with all the coaches' kids. They know all the other athletes on the other teams. They talk to a ton of the faculty and staff. And so, I think just like the character and the integrity of these guys is really evident.
It's just interesting how that works out when you're involved and things go better than when you just stay in your room all day. Interesting.
Crazy.
Interesting. It is. But yeah, Coach Hannah, it's been a fun week. Can't wait to see you guys perform this weekend. Maybe bring home a banner.
Maybe.
We'll find out. But again, follow our social media guys to stay in tune on the live stream links. If there's any game time changes, to see the updates. Hopefully the updates you'll see here when you watch the live stream. But yeah, keep an eye on that. Remember, check out our Talent Club. Thank you to all those out there who are part of our Talent Club. We appreciate the support.
Yes.
If you want to learn more about it, reach out, check the link in the description because Will, our producer, his dad is in charge of the Talent Club and he can give you some more information on that. And as always, keep praying for the school. Again, like Coach Hannah said, a lot of changes have happened, especially this last week. A lot of amazing,
really, really fun
great changes.
Yeah.
And we're so thankful to the Lord of how he's just continually blessed Emmaus over and over again for these last 84 years. But continue to pray for us as we continue to navigate, bringing in the mission fit students as our teams are out there traveling, representing Christ, but also representing Emmaus. And we just, again, thank you to all you parents out there for all the great support. It means a lot to us.
Yeah.
But Coach Hannah, as always, it's a great day to be an Emmaus Eagle.
PTN.
We'll see you guys later.